Well, it's Thursday and it's the 13th of March, and I've come out into the greenhouse not because I've got anything much to do, but I've just got my lunch break, and so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a short video together because I've spoken a few times over the last few vlogs about the fact that I'm using multiple cameras to change the view as I'm doing the video. So I've got 3 cameras set up at this moment, and I've got one which I'm going to be pointing at here, which is in my hand at the moment, and then from this camera can point over there and see that I got one set up, and then to the right I've got another set up, so that one I can look straight into. This one is looking down to where I'm going to be doing what I'm going to do. And then this is just the third camera that I'm just going to use a little bit just to show that with multicam you can use a number of cameras, and then with the software on the computer, and what I'm going to do is talk you through the process of how I do the video with the multicam. Now with this camera that's in my hand, I can just show you a little bit of what the greenhouse is looking like at this moment, with some of the stuff that is coming through. Some here which I've yet got to plant out, but as you can see or hear, it is sleeting at the moment, or hailstoning. For 3 days running now in the morning we have had some snow showers, and it's been very cold. It's 5 degrees at the moment, so there's nothing I can do outside. So all I'm going to do for this video, just to show how I put the videos together in multicam, is to just do one of these pots down here, which I am going to fill with compost, and then I'm going to put into that some of these plants that I had here from the garden centre last week. I'm also going to throw into it some sweet pea seeds, and then also some bulbs which I've got here, allium bulbs. So I'll put 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 of those into that as well. And then I've also got some Dutch iris bulbs which I hadn't planted yet, and so I'm going to put some of those in that pot as well. Now I've got a few of these pots, and so I'm only just going to do one today, just as a quick sample for the video, because when I do multicam I'm using a lot of memory card memory up, they're big files to import into the computer, and so it requires quite a lot of processing power to sort them all out. So that's what I'm just going to do now, and put you through, show you through the process of putting the video together. So this camera in my hand I will just clamp to somewhere else, and I may come back to it again with something in the video. So I'm now at the computer, and the first thing that I need to do is get the camera set up onto the screen of the computer. I'm using the DJI camera again so that I can use the microphone with it, and because of time restraints I will have to do this over 2 or 3 sessions. But the first thing I've had to do is I've had to unload the files from the 3 cameras onto the computer. That takes a while, so I've done that already. And so there's the folder in which they are in. It's interesting that using the 3 different cameras for exactly the same amount of time, the difference in file size. So on the Ace Go it is 8.73 gigabyte. On the DJI Action 4 it is 9.75 gigabyte. But on the AcePro, which is my favorite of the 3 cameras, it is 12.24 gigabyte. So they're ready in the folder there. So I then have to load up Final Cut Pro. So now down the bottom I'm going to click New Project and select OK. So firstly I will click on the untitled project up here, and I will drag from this folder those 3 files which I've taken for this video and drag them to there. And what I do then is, because I want to use the DJI as the main source for the sound as well, I come over here where I click for information, and down by here it says camera name, so I'm going to call the DJI camera number 1, so that's that one. Then I'm going to go back to the left here and find the AcePro video, which is going to be camera 2, so there again, highlighted over here, type in camera 2, and then I will find the other file from the Ace Go, which is that one there, and I will call that camera 3. So there I've got camera 1, camera 2 and camera 3. So I go back to the left here now and I click up here and by there and edit, select all. So now it should have selected all those files from camera 1, 2 and 3. I go to file and then new, then I come across there and I come down to multicam clip. I'll click OK for there, and this comes up on here, so I'll just call that multicam clip, and in front of there I'll put planting in pot. So once that is done, I click OK, and now the computer will synchronize the multicam clip, finding them all, and it'll try to find where they're all joining together to make this one file. Now it says I've not got enough disk, but that's okay. I'll click OK, and on the left I now have what is the planting in pot multicam clip. So I drag that down to the bottom, then I go up here to view and I click view, then I'll click angles, and there on the left now will be the 3 different cameras that are 4 angles to get the 3. So there's the 3 different camera views coming up on there. So there's a slight time difference because of where they picked up by switching the different cameras on. So if I press play here now, it should start to play from the DJI camera, which will come on in a moment, and then you'll see in a moment it will come to select the one that's in my hand here, and so there they are, they're all switched on. So here it'll come to the point where I start to talk in the camera. Well, it's Thursday and it's the 13th of March, and I've come out into the greenhouse not because I've got anything much to do, but I've just got my lunch break, and so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a short video together because I've spoken a few times over the last few vlogs about the fact that I'm using multiple cameras to change the view as I'm doing the video. And so today I've got 3 cameras set up. I've got the one that I'm talking to at this moment. I've got one that is set up on the right hand side. So I've got 3 cameras set up at this moment, and I've got one. So as you can see that when I was doing this I made a mistake in what I wanted to say, so I started again. So what I've got to do is I've got to edit this now, but I will do that separately because it'll take me a lot of time, but I'll just continue to show here as I go forward, and I'll flick forward to there. It's sleeting at the moment, or hailstoning. So that is the 3rd camera that I'm talking there. So I'll go back to there with the multicam. Now with this camera that's in my hand, I can just show
So there I
you,
can change the view to the camera.
what the greenhouse is looking like at this moment, with some of the stuff that is coming through. Some here which I've yet got to plant out, but as you can see or hear, it is sleeting at the moment, or hailstoning. For 3 days running now in the morning, we have had some snow showers, and it's been very cold. It's 5 degrees at the moment.
So I'll pause that for a moment. See, I've now clicked the different cameras and it's automatically changed on the timeline to which camera it is that I want the picture from. But I need to undo all of those at the moment. So I go up to Edit, undo switch angle, it changes it back there. I'll do that again, undo switch angle, and it changes it back again. So now it's all coming from number 1 again. Now, what I need to do is I need to run through that and then find the points where I want to change the angle. And I can do that either by pressing 1, 2 or 3 on the keyboard according to the number of the camera, or I can do it by clicking with the mouse up on one of those up there as well. So that's what I'm going to do, and I will put this on the video, but I will fast forward it on the actual video that I put together, otherwise it would take too long of a time. So I'm going back to the beginning. So that's the end of doing the multicam, sorting out the different shots. I just come down to the bottom here now and highlight where I want to be. Then I press on the computer, on the keyboard, Control I, and it selects that band there. I press delete, and so that's the whole of the video being put together. So now what I do is I go up here, and it might not allow me to do it yet because it might still be importing the files in. We'll see. There we are. So now I can save that as, I'll call it pot multicam completed, and press next. It's going to be a 2.1 gigabyte file. Save it to the desktop, yes, and now that will save that as a file for me, which you will then see as the completed file following on from this on the video. So I might not have been very clear, or might sound as if I've muddled through it, but I'm still learning. But that's the process. I could have had 4 cameras, I could have had more cameras, but the more you have, the more memory and the more time consuming it gets. So enjoy the finished video. So first I'm going to take these trays off here and put them down on the floor. And then I can bring the pot up onto here. Now there is quite a big hole in the bottom, so all I'm going to do there at this moment is to just put a little thin piece of cardboard over the top, because that will rot eventually, and then fill it with the compost.
At that point I will add some of these bulbs. So this is the Dutch iris that are mixed. They're already beginning to sprout. So 1, 2, 3. I'll just put 6 of them around the edge. I'm putting them lower down. I think they'll grow through, even though they've started to sprout. And then some of the allium, which I will just put on a little bit of a higher level again. I'm also using a microphone to this camera up here, so that when I do the video I can just use the one sound track, so that I got consistent sound throughout the video. It would help if I got myself a decent pair of scissors, because these have got one of the handles broken off them, which makes them a little bit harder to use. So can't get enough pressure on there. And then alongside that, then in this tray here, I have got some of the stuff that I brought last week. So I'm going to look for that one now, which is a fuchsia. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant that one in the middle of the pot. And then I'm going to put a couple of the petunia in there. I'll go for one of the orange ones and one of the pink ones. And then I will put 2 of these daisy-like plants. Not quite sure what they really are, without looking at the label again, and that means putting my glasses back on. Bellis red. Too cold for these to go outside, so I will leave them in the greenhouse. But on top of putting those in there, because I've got plenty of them, somewhere here I have got another packet of sweet peas, and I'm just going to throw a few of those in there as well. And then as they start to come, I can put a few sticks in there for them to grow up. So that's just a quick pot put together, and I've got, as I've said, I got some more of these pots that I'll do in another video, but that's just sufficient for now to put one video together showing the compilation of the different cameras and how I use them, and to complete the video altogether. So I've removed the third camera, and now as I go back again, you'll see the three cameras with this one, the one that's up there, and that one up there. Two of them are Insta 360 cameras. This one up here is a DJI Action 4. I'm using that for the sound because I have a DJI microphone that connects to it wirelessly, and together they all make good videos. The quality is good on all of them, and we'll see how this video looks once it's all put together. So that's all this video is going to consist of. I don't know when I'm going to get it live, but I just want to say thank you to you all for watching my videos. Please like and please subscribe. Thank you.